Okay. Hello and welcome to another episode of A Muggle's Perspective. I am Rogge, your host. I am joined by the Perspective. No, the Muggle. I screwed that up. How are you, Braden?
Hey guys, doing pretty good.
How's your week been?
You know, it's just it's been good. It's hot. Got a lot of corn being planted these days. Growing. A lot of corn growing these days. It's growing.
More corn planted.
It's not being.
It's
hopefully,
growing.
it's not being planted.
Yeah. So if you're a first-time listener, don't listen to this episode because I'm not Rogge.
If you're a first-time listener, I have some questions for you.
Yeah. This would be a weird place to just decide, I'll sample this podcast.
My guess is that you're someone that is listening to us as a favor because you know us personally, and you don't exactly know how to operate your podcast app. So we're going to go ahead and pause here, and then what you're going to do is scroll down through the list of episodes, down to the bottom. Okay? Start at episode 1. I think they were numbered. Yeah, they're numbered.
Should be.
Let's look at Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some references thrown around that both you and I are not familiar with today, this evening.
Well, either way, if that does describe you, we're still glad you're here.
Oh, absolutely. Rate and review.
You're gonna
subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe.
Yeah. Hit all your social media feeds. We'll be there. Also, I just want to start off the episode by telling anyone, first time, long time, doesn't matter, that you should call in and howl. If you want, so we have a voicemail line that hopefully, if you've been listening for, I don't know, for any amount of time now, you've heard. You can call in and leave a voicemail for us, and we will play it aloud on the episode and respond to it. And as Aaron demonstrated last week, it does not have to be Harry Potter related in the slightest, and we welcome it.
She went so far as to request that it not be played on the air. Like, that's how desperate we are for content.
Yeah. So that number is 978-POTTER-0, which is
Nice.
978-768-8370. Did I get that right?
You did. That's right.
Bingo. Yeah, so call it.
We actually have some examples of howlers. It seems like a good time to play a howler.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, it's Chad. Just listening to your episode, Hermione's still the MVP, and just listen to the fun fact about Hermione or Emma Watson's character in, gosh dog, I can't even talk. Anyway, about the teeth prosthetic that she wore, but it didn't work out. So if you have any other fun facts, maybe that could be like a little segment going forward, especially if y'all are still watching the movies. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Chad. That was Chad.
Yeah.
That was
Frequent
Chad,
caller.
everyone.
Favorite of ours.
Chadillac. We appreciate that. I like hearing howlers because we recorded that episode like quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Because
So
of
I was
how
trying to
our
think,
recording
like, how long
schedule
ago
goes.
that's been.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, we talked about that. That's fun.
Yeah, I like the idea for a segment. I don't know enough about like the movie series and stuff to know if we could fill every episode with a factoid like that, but
No.
I love that we have people calling in suggesting segments.
Yes, please, by all means, continue to suggest segments.
Yeah, because that's fun, and we are open to any and all ideas. Not saying we'll implement them,
Right,
but
of course. Here's what I'm picturing. Every week right before we start recording, Jeremy Googles the phrase like Harry Potter fact.
And we just read whatever comes up.
Half-heartedly gives one. Like, but he has to come like he's doing it. That's how we get Jeremy on the
does
pod.
It?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like probably about like the theme park or something.
Yep.
Or like or how much a movie grossed. Like the kinds of things that aspects that Jeremy might be interested in.
I'm great with that. Well, you'll probably have to like pre-screen them in case there's spoilers.
Right. That's true.
But
yeah, that's no problem.
I love the idea.
Fun, but what do we call it? Facts? Fun facts. Got some fun facts for you. Fun facts for you. Fun facts for you.
We'll work on it.
Thank you, Chad. That's a howler. Call in and you too can have yourself on air deciding whether or not you're going to say teeth or tooth.
It's totally up to you. It's your howl.
I loved it. Thanks, Chad. Love you. So this week we're focusing on the last 2 chapters of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. How do you feel about that? Are you glad we came to the end? Is it like, finally we're done with Goblet?
I'm not like that. I don't feel that way. Like, finally. I was talking to, Aaron, actually, at small group last night.
Good.
And just talking about how, like, I have enjoyed this book a lot more. Like, this is definitely my favorite so far. Everybody told me before we started this one that JKR really ramps up, like, the intensity of the plot and the issues and things that Harry has to deal with become a lot more adult in a hurry, and I found that to be true. I think you mentioned last episode that she really morphs this into like a mystery novel that is just like through the lens of magic, and I really like that. This book kept me on my toes and kept me engaged. Not that the other 3 didn't, I just felt like they were a lot slower and a little bit more predictable. Whereas this one, I had no idea what the heck was going on for the better part of it.
But you had guesses the whole time. Like, there were so many different threads that you could be like, okay, Bagman and Crouch and, like, this fits in. And we were suspicious of Karkaroff for, like, a long time. So, there was always something going on.
Yeah, she always left me enough to, like, be able to sort of skate out on a theory, even though it was probably pretty thin ice. But I don't know. Which is fun. Like, I don't know. This book lent itself, I thought, to ridiculous predictions, which is, I feel like, half the fun for you. So,
well, I think a large part of that is because you knew a little bit of what was you were like, there's going to be tasks. Like, I know that. Tasks are coming up. And then also Voldemort was introduced in the very beginning. And so you had a pretty good idea that, like, he was going to show back up. It wasn't just going to be one chapter in the beginning that teased it. So you could say, okay, this is how it's going to go with that at the end, like with that thing that's going to happen. The third task will be this.
Yeah,
so
the layout of this
concrete.
book, I think, I think the layout or I don't know, what's the correct literary term for, like, she changed. Like, normally we don't meet Voldemort till the very end. In this book, it was like, hey, this is, it's kind of vague and murky, but, like, he's here. And like, you got to figure out what to do with this for the next 35 chapters.
Like the arc of the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think because in some ways she didn't subvert it. In some ways we did meet Voldemort at the end, but it was just that we as readers had a different amount of knowledge going in than Harry did for almost the first time. Normally, like, you are Harry Potter and you're thinking right in Harry Potter's time frame. And so she threw in another twist here, which is you're Harry Potter, except you also have extra knowledge. Well, I guess Harry had that dream. Harry knew, but he didn't know if it was a dream, if it was a vision. He didn't know exactly what it was. So
that's a good point. Yeah. So, yeah, I liked this one. I am pumped and jacked to see the movies. I still haven't seen Prisoner of Azkaban, so we're going to watch both of those in like 48 hours.
Yeah, so soon.
Um,
So soon. I like that Chad was like, I can't really tell if you guys are still watching the movies, but like if you are, maybe the fun fact's gonna be about that. It's not super clear to me what's
Yeah.
going on.
That's gonna happen, Chad. Don't you worry. We will. I think we're planning to do kind of a reaction podcast to the movies, so that'll be fun. I'm actually really excited because I don't think we're going to Facebook Live the watching of the movie, so I can just be like all in, all there, watching the movie, which I really haven't done so far for the first two.
Yeah.
So
I think
I watched them and I
Right.
enjoyed them, but like,
questionable for the second one.
yeah, the second one no one watched. It was just
Yeah.
us fighting technology, but
my vision
yeah,
is
I think
that
it'd be-
we'll get on Instagram Live for a little bit, like right before, like, hey guys, we're about to
Mhm.
get on. Here's Braden. Like, what do you have? Like, any words of wisdom or like questions for him right before we jump into it? So like, there's still that engagement. But yeah, not for like during the movie itself, because that's just a slog.
Yep.
And who wants to watch that? Just doing that has, I know for a fact, made at least one person think that our podcast is boring because all they knew about it was watching us watch Sorcerer's Stone. They're like, oh, that's what this is? I'm out.
yeah, and from the perspective of the person watching it, it's hard to focus on a movie when you feel like someone is watching you watch that movie.
Oh, well, bad news
I
for you.
found that
I'm
weird.
going to watch you watch these movies this weekend.
Well, that's different.
Okay.
I mean, when you're out there on
when
the
like
internet,
thousands of people are watching you watch it, then
when all 6 of our listeners are watching, it just made me feel weird.
hopefully we'll be watching them early enough in the day that, well, Carla's not. Is Carla on Instagram? Anyway, hopefully Carla can be involved here. Love getting
Yeah.
Carla involved.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
chapter 36, The Parting of the Ways.
Parting of the Ways.
You sort of summed up this chapter to me right before we started recording.
Yeah, so it's like Dumbledore brings Harry into his office, and Sirius is there, and he's like, "Okay, tell Sirius everything that just happened." So then it's just like Harry's stream of consciousness the entire. I mean, there's other things that happen, but that's like
That's at
this
least half
chapter
of it.
was
Yeah.
interesting to me that like JKR added this, like that she put so much work and detail into like, okay, let's recap everything that just happened again.
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is to try to kind of emphasize the emotional impact that it's having on Harry at this point. Because he's definitely going to have PTSD, right? He got launched in here. Cedric died. His worst nightmare came to life and cut his arm and stuff.
Can we take a second to just talk about like how screwed up Harry's life has been up to this point as a 14-year-old?
Yeah, go for it. What are the big,
like the fact that he's able to even have like be trusting and normal enough to like have friends in Ron and Hermione or Hagrid. The fact that he's able to like go to school and not just like freak out and start having an emotional breakdown or something. Like his parents were murdered. He has lived with, I would argue, child abusers for most of his life.
at least, yeah.
He was bullied by his quote unquote, would you call Dudley like his cousin? Is that what?
I mean,
how does that work? Yeah, cousin,
Dudley
right?
is his cousin.
Yeah,
Because Petunia is
his quote unquote
aunt.
cousin.
You know, his
Well,
like, I
not
guess if you want to call him a cousin. I thought you were going to say bully. He was bullied by his, like, would we call him his bully?
his woolly bully.
You ever play Bully on PS2?
No.
It was like,
I don't-
it was GTA, but you're like a kid who goes to a boarding school.
No, I've never heard of this.
No?
For PS2, what did I have for PS2?
It's for PS2 and like it's out on 360. It came out on Wii even eventually.
Okay. I think on PS2 all I played was 007 Nightfire.
Sure. And who didn't play 007 Nightfire? Me on
Yeah,
GameCube, you on
that's-
PS2. I mean, so it
That's
goes.
really all I can remember playing on that console.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, so anyways, Harry's had a really screwed up life. And you would think that he would be a little bit more like psychologically damaged than at least he lets on.
It's an interesting nature versus nurture debate.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been
absolutely
nurtured in directions that you would not think would build the kind of empathy and moral compass that he has.
Yeah. Right.
I agree. We agree with each other. So what I like about the beginning of this chapter is this is kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, the first time that you really see Dumbledore like Dumbledoring. He's like, all right, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Shut up and listen to me. Like, just do the thing I told you to. He's taking charge of a situation in a way that he has not up to this point in the series.
Yeah, and I think that is indicative of like the weight of what's just happened, the seriousness of the fact that Voldemort's alive. Mm-hmm. So I think that adds, like as the reader, that adds to the intensity of the last two chapters, like what we just experienced with Harry.
Yeah, we're used to the denouement of the plot being Harry telling Dumbledore what happened, usually like from the hospital wing or something, and Dumbledore's like, well, 100 points. Well done, twinkle in my eye. Yeah. Like, you won school, yeah. Have a good summer. We're not used to it. Yep. Like, but you're right, by the way he's responding, there's clearly larger real world implications.
Yeah, so is it this chapter that so you're referring to like him doling out like responsibilities for each teacher and...
Yeah, both right at the beginning of the chapter, he's like, Snape, go get this person, McGonagall, go get this person, let's meet me here. But and then also at the end. Snape. Is it different?
Yeah, because it's really mysterious with Snape, right?
At the end, when he's like, Snape, you know what you have to do.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I got the order mixed up here.
Yeah, he says, if you are ready.
And all he responds with is, I am, and then leaves.
Mm-hmm. And so we're going to talk about that, what you think that is.
What?
For sure. What?
What?
So I know you kind of talked about it as just like a recap of everything that happened to Harry. But there is one specific spot that we want to stop and talk about. The wand connection, when Harry's recapping that, Dumbledore sort of gives more info as to what that was. And so I wondered what your thoughts on that information were. Now that Dumbledore's explained it, you kind of know it better.
Yeah. So both of their wands are filled with the Phoenix Feather from Fox, which I don't think, did we know before then that it was actually Fox that it came from?
No, this is the first time, yeah.
So that's interesting. And I don't know what to do with that, but the idea is when the two wands duel, one wand basically forces the other to reverse the most recent curses that it has executed.
I like the idea
that explains, like...
Yeah. If Voldemort had won and Harry's just is like, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. What's the other thing he did?
What are the ones he uses for the Dementors?
Oh, yeah. Expecto Patronum. Like, there's no bodies crawling out of Harry's wand. No, there's like a Scroot, maybe.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I don't... My initial question that came up was like, okay, so does what we just saw happen, where basically Harry was like, I was holding on tight, and now I'm holding on tighter, and now I'm pushing him back, and now like my mom is crawling out of the wand. Like, does that mean that he's just naturally stronger than Voldemort?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like what? How was he able to force the reversing back onto Voldemort's end? Yeah. And how was Voldemort not able to like just completely overpower him and reverse all the Expelliarmuses and the Expecto Patronums?
The stupefies. Yeah, Dumbledore just says one of the wands will force the other to regurgitate spells it has performed in reverse. The most recent first, and then those which preceded it. So you don't know if it was luck. Was it a coin flip? Is Harry's wand somehow
Right.
inherently stronger?
Yeah, that's what I not struggled with, but like wrestled with, I guess. Is it totally random? Does that say something about Harry that we should take note of? I don't know.
So what do you think the implications are going forward for this? Are we going to see this happen again? Are they going to try to get around it somehow?
Well, I think it's useful knowledge for Harry because I mean, obviously this is going to happen again. Like they're going to end up facing off against each other at some point in this series. But it'll be interesting
big prediction.
to see.
We'll mark that one down.
Do what?
Big prediction. We'll have to mark that one down.
Yeah. But we'll have to see. I think it'll be interesting to see how not Dumbledore, how Voldemort reacts to the next encounter with Harry. Like he was kind of like so confident and cocky this time that it was like, yeah, here, take your friggin' wand back so that I can murder you while you're trying and prove to everyone else how much stronger I am. And that totally backfired on him. So now does he come at Harry with the whole plan of like, I'm going to catch him off guard and murder him, like sucker punch him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how that goes down. Okay, the next thing I had was pretty much okay. We got a lot of that. And then we go back to the hospital wing. There's a bunch of Weasleys there.
All the Weasleys.
Just full of Weasleys.
Not all the Weasleys.
Harry goes to sleep, and then when he wakes up, McGonagall is ticked because Fudge just had Barty Crouch Jr. Dementor kissed. And that's kind of the next big thing that happens. What was your reaction to that when you read that?
I was silently cheering for McGonagall. Jim Dale's like impersonation or voicing of her is like almost has like a super Irish hint to it, and it's super like shrill and high pitched. And so he was going in during this part, and that was fun. So like we were talking about this before the show. I don't have the slightest bit of trust for Cornelius Fudge.
Cornelius Fudge.
I say Cornelius Fudge.
I say he can't be back, Dumbledore.
There's no way. There's no way in Sam heck that Lord Voldemort is back and alive. He was a tadpole.
So what, from you as you understand it, what's Fudge's argument against Voldemort being back, and does it hold any water?
Isn't his whole basis is that like you're gonna go off the eye account of Harry Potter, who has been making stuff up for the last 3 books, like he's just a kid, and I think we all read Rita Skeeter, like he talks to snakes. You gonna trust a kid who talks to snakes? And Harry's just kind of laying there like, no, you don't get it. Like, I was there. Like, the guy cut his arm off in front of me. I was in a golden force field.
There's just so much physical evidence that you could provide here. Like, what do you think happened to Quirrell 3 years ago? I can show you a giant basilisk body down miles under the school if you would like to join me.
It got really annoying how like thick he was being with the evidence in his face.
Why do you think that is? Is he just dumb, or is there some other reason that he refused to believe?
I think that he is a Death Eater.
He's got one of those tattoos?
Well, let me back up. the description of how he reacted when Snape shows him his mark makes me think that I shouldn't go as far to say that he is a Death Eater, but I don't feel confident that he is on the good side. I don't feel confident that he is on Dumbledore's team, Harry's team. Like, at this point, he's just coming off stupid.
Yeah, his only argument is, I just don't believe it. That's not an argument.
And the fact, like, so what made me want to say that he's somehow, like, wants to help Voldemort is that he brought, like, why would you bring a Dementor in to when you're questioning a guy who's tied up in ropes?
And you've got a bunch of really good wizards like there to protect you. McGonagall's not going to just let stuff happen.
No. And, like, that's your only evidence. Like, your only other eyewitness account of the things that Voldemort's been doing, and like you take away that ability to be questioned, which is what McGonagall's ticked about, and I feel like the Minister of Magic, like, doesn't just do stuff like that. Like, that's not, you don't get to his position by being that dumb.
Right. He says things throughout here. He just kind of sprinkles things in, like, it seems to me that you are determined to start a panic that will destabilize everything we have worked for these last 13 years.
So, like, I realize that he is obsessed with upholding his reputation.
I'd be kicked out of office for suggesting we remove the Dementors. Like, that's not a logical argument. That's just saying I don't want to because of politics.
Right. But I guess for me, and I'm not in politics, so I can't speak to, like, the pull that has over a person, but, like, to me, that doesn't seem like enough of it, like, an excuse for why he would take a Dementor in there. Like, that's dumb.
So for you, it's got to be beyond sheer ignorance or just desire to maintain the status quo. The only reason you would bring a Dementor in there would be if you were trying to cover up evidence.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he went in there like, this guy's going to let stuff slip, and this is going to be a entire fiasco, and we got to get rid of him.
Yeah, because a Dementor doesn't protect. A Dementor attacks.
Right.
He just brought him up and let him in to kill him.
Right.
He didn't bring him up and be like, okay, you sit here while I talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my beef this week.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
Braden's beef!
Fudge.
Braden's fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not.
I mean, I like that. I like the parallel between fudge and him being, like, thick, you know, in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
That works for me. Okay, then the last thing is kind of after Fudge walks out. So Dumbledore just does not pull punches. He, like, raises his voice. He speaks to him really directly. He calls Fudge racist, basically. You've put too much importance on the so-called purity of blood.
Yes, I forgot about that. So that's what I mean. There's more to this than just him saving his reputation.
He's not just willfully ignorant, he's scummy in some way.
Yeah, for sure.
I like when he says, if you're going to work against me, like, are you coming up against the Ministry? And Dumbledore's like, I'm just working against Voldemort. Are we on the same side? Are we both against Voldemort? And he doesn't really respond.
Yeah, all he says before he leaves is he can't be back, Dumbledore. He just can't be. Also, I don't want to skip over that Harry started to name names
Mm-hmm.
and named Lucius Malfoy, and Snape got weird.
Yeah, Snape did. Yeah, that's true. He twitched.
So like, yeah, what the frick is that about?
Do you wonder if maybe Snape's thinking, oh crap, I bet Harry's heard Voldemort say that I'm a Death Eater. Something like that.
Yeah, because I guess Snape probably wouldn't know about the whole pensive stuff.
Yeah. He doesn't know what Harry knows.
Yeah.
He's thinking, Harry heard names. Like, I wonder, maybe he's like, oh snap. Like, Harry actually knows stuff. Like, who else is he going to say?
Yeah, but I don't know. It made my head go in different places, like thinking about how Snape tends to favor Draco.
Well, that's true.
And just that, what does that mean then? There's what connection is there between Lucius Malfoy and Snape?
Yeah, it seems like it's got to be some.
I am so conflicted about Snape, and I know that's the point. I know that's what JKR wants.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was ready for like this to be the book where it turns and like, okay, we can full on hate Snape because he's a Death Eater and he's probably helping behind the scenes, and then he like, I think in this chapter like shows, yeah, we just referenced like he shows his dark mark to Fudge and is like, no, it was worse earlier. Like he was definitely, this happened, and he obeys Dumbledore. Everything he tells him to do here.
He shakes hands with Sirius.
Shakes hands with Sirius. Like, I don't know. I'm so confused by Snape.
That's kind of the last thing, is that Dumbledore continues mobilizing the troops. What's your interpretation of what Dumbledore's doing here? He's like, you go do this, you go do that. What's Dumbledore's goal?
I guess, I don't know. Be more specific.
Dumbledore sends McGonagall to do a thing. Clearly he's got some plan for Hagrid. Snape has some kind of hidden plan that we don't know about. He wants Arthur to try to start recruiting people. I guess recruiting for what? Because I think he says that, recruit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that he is, we talked about how serious he gets and starts Dumbledoring like we haven't seen him before. And I think it's, I don't know, just the realization that like, okay, this is real now. Like we need to have people in place. We need to have defense ready, and like our school, like our way of life and safety is compromised at this point. He's out there. He's got a following of Death Eaters, and he's powerful. He's got, and he's got Harry's blood, right? Which when Harry was telling that part of the story to Sirius and Dumbledore, I don't remember exactly what it says, but like that they both were kind of like, oh, geez, okay, keep going. You know, like
they made him stop and like looked at his arm, like it was all, the blood thing was a specific inflection point.
Yeah.
So he's basically just wanting to make sure that there are people out here that there's good guys as well that know that Voldemort's back and are ready to do what they can do about that.
Yes.
Bill is in on it. Molly's in. Sirius has just been sitting there, and no one figured it out.
Yeah, because most of the chapter he's in dog form, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dumbledore's like, oh, and Snape, you should know that this dog is serious. Now shake paws.
Snape's like, I can tell, like he's a pretty serious dog. Like, but what do you mean? Serious with an I. Severus.
No, Snape, this dog is serious.
He's serious, black, and Snape's like, you're just listing adjectives.
I get it. He's
that
not
describe
messing
the
around.
dog.
What's your point?
So I like that. I liked seeing Dumbledore delegate and Dumbledore pretty hard. Send people to do some things. What do you think? What do you think's going on there? Severus, said Dumbledore, turning to Snape. You know what I must ask you to do, if you are ready, if you are prepared. What do you take from that?
I think that I don't know. The first thing that came to mind was like you need to go figure out where he is. Where is he hiding?
It's a track him down situation.
Yeah, I think it could be a tracking down situation. I thought about the idea that like Snape is now a spy for Dumbledore, so it's like, hey, go pretend that you are coming back to him to serve him and infiltrate.
So he would be kind of a Dumble agent.
Hey!
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know how well that would go over. I feel like Voldemort would kill him.
He said he was going to. So.
He said he was going to, and he said that he doesn't forgive. He doesn't forget. So I'd be like, oh, you've been working for Dumbledore?
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I need to kill you. So that seems less likely, but the
So I mean, he could still be using his like tattoo to sort of track him down and kind of keep tabs on his location for Dumbledore.
Yes. Yeah, I hope that we get a focus on what Snape got sent to do in the next book.
Yeah. No, that would be good. Snape's definitely one of the most interesting characters at this point. Because he's so gray. Okay. We pretty much hit on my do we cares for the most part. Do we care about the mention of giants? Dumbledore is like, Fudge, go talk to some giants. Fudge is like, what are you talking about? Why would I do that? Do we care about that?
Yes, I think that, you know, like I talked about, like Dumbledore seems like he's pulling out all the stops here. Like, okay, Voldemort's back. We need everybody on our side. And it's kind of interesting. Like, I would like to know more about the history between like the Ministry and the Giants. Like, what is there some sort of tension there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we got a little bit of Ron being like, whoa, Hagrid's half giant. Like, giants are vicious. There's just a smidge of that. Just a little fudge of that.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's one of those, like, the Giants have stayed fairly neutral, and it'll be like, we need to beat Voldemort to the punch.
Yeah. Because I think Voldemort mentioned giants in his monologue.
I don't remember.
You don't remember that? He might. I don't remember. He might have. That brings us to chapter 37. We're going to take a break here to do a howler. This is coming from a first-time caller. So let's just jump right into it and hear from Jimmy.
Hey, this is Jimmy Elsner calling into the howler. And let's see, my house, I actually tested... When I first took the test, tested as a Slytherin, which probably comes as a surprise to most people. I'm sort of your prototypical nice guy, but it was a pretty strong Slytherin. So, yeah, that's my favorite. Yes, I did play backyard baseball, and usually I'd pick the kid in the wheelchair. I think something about Wheeler. There was
Pablo.
the farm boy who was really fast. Kind of had buck teeth, and then Pablo, who was the slugger who had his belly showing. Those were my top picks, and then I'd sort of mix it up after that. So I think I had a demo version from the cereal box. So I could
nice.
I couldn't do a season. Like, I just could do single-player games. So that's my thoughts about that. I do have a question for Braden. I have not listened to every episode, but I'll listen every once in a while when I'm mowing the lawn, especially. It's a good time limit for that. I'm sure you've heard this a lot. Like, I'm just surprised that, that you truly don't know, like, what happens. Like, you haven't, like, seen, like, a movie preview that gave you a clue as to, like, what happens later in the series, or even other book covers. Also, if you're reading, are you ever tempted to, do the old last page peek and see what happens at the end of the book, in the privacy of your own home? So I know you just said you listen to the audiobooks, so that'd be a good way to prevent that, but I'm curious if you're ever tempted to peek. Those are my questions. I love the podcast. It's very funny. I was laughing as I was mowing the lawn alone today. So thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. You are welcome, Jimmy.
So we got a couple questions in there, Braden. First of all, the wheelchair kid from Backyard Baseball, do you know his name?
I thought that Pablo was the wheelchair kid. Am I wrong?
You're definitely wrong. Pablo is the the super short Mexican kid that wears his hat backwards, only speaks Spanish.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he was also in a wheelchair, but that's clearly I have not played this in a long time.
Wheelchair kid is Kenny Kawaguchi.
Yeah. Okay, I have to look up a picture of him immediately.
Yeah. He has a sister named Vicky that is like a ballet dancer.
Oh, man. Look at Ken. Yep. I remember Kenny.
I used to play in backyard football. You'd pick him to be your kicker. He was a pretty good kicker, which I always thought was very inclusive.
Cool. So yeah,
cool.
That's Kenny Kawaguchi. Pablo was the man though.
Pablo like is just a
Pablo
game
Sanchez,
breaker,
right?
Yeah.
Pablo Sanchez.
Like, if you've got time, just look up like the YouTube on YouTube or something. Just the intro music Pablo plays, like after he scores a goal in soccer, or like when he's like coming on from like the on deck circle, his walk up music,
it's like mariachi band.
Yes,
right?
and it gives you chills. You're like, a home run is about to happen here.
I love it.
So good. So he had a couple questions. How do you? I guess my interpretation of his question: how do you keep yourself pure? How do you keep yourself Harry Potter pure for me?
So he asked if I was tempted.
And then, are you ever tempted to like peek at the last page?
Oh, so these are different questions.
Yeah, I think that, the first one is just kind of him being surprised that you are such a unicorn, surprised that you know so little about Harry Potter prior to this.
Yeah, so I mean, there's no other way to say it. Like, I just never got into it. None of my friends read it.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, other than you, obviously, and we didn't start hanging out till mid to late high school.
Like very late high school for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was never around people who were like encouraging me to read it. I was never.
Well, and I think we've talked about this. You weren't like a huge reader, like in middle school and early high school.
Honestly, I was probably up until middle school.
Right.
I read all the time. I read, mostly like sports books and like
Magic Tree House and.
Yeah, and like if there was a president I was really interested in, like I'd read a biography of him or something, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, never really ventured into like fantasy, magic, that kind of stuff. Just never did any of that. I don't know how else to.
But then you never saw, like you said, movie trailers?
Yeah, no.
Did you go to the movies a lot? The movies were like a long drive for you to get to the theater.
That is true. So I grew up in rural Montgomery County, and when I say rural, like There's nothing else around.
Like the
And
closest
so,
town was Darlington, and that was like, what, 10 minutes?
No, I probably lived like 5 minutes outside of
Gotcha.
Darlington.
Okay.
But like in Darlington, there's a post office and a library and a gas station, and that is it.
There's a Pizza King.
I think that's out of business now.
Oh,
I think there's a bakery,
RIP.
and they just opened like a small ice cream place, the Sweet and Salty.
Oh.
But yeah, to get into Crawfordsville, where the nearest movie theater would be, is definitely like 25 minutes.
Oh,
30
yeah.
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
And then
So
the
if
movie
you're-
theater's on
if
the
you're gonna
south
go
side
see
of
a
town.
movie-
Yeah.
yeah, if you're gonna go see a movie, like you better really want to see it. And like I said, none of my friends were like, "Hey, let's go check out the new Harry Potter movie," you know.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailers and commercials on TV. We had that whole freeform ABC Family, conversation way early in the pod.
Right.
And that is pretty much the extent of any exposure I had to Harry Potter before when I started dating Hannah and you took us to like the 7th movie or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jimmy might not know that we don't want to make you out to be something you're not. You have seen you did see a Harry Potter movie, but
I
retained
knew
none of it.
I knew characters like I would have been able to tell you Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Probably would have been able to name Snape. I wouldn't have been able to tell you his first name, but I've been like, yeah, it's Snape.
There's a wizard school.
I would have known Hogwarts. I would have known Hagrid. And honestly, that's probably just from like being around like you and Jake and Olivia and the people who were into Harry Potter at that time.
Steven,
yeah. So, yeah, it's crazy. Like I tell friends from church or whatever, like the premise of this podcast, and they don't. Like I get to the part where I tell them like, yeah, and then Rogge found out that like I didn't know anything about Harry Potter. I'd never seen the movies, read the books, and they're like, wait, what? So, it's real. I didn't know anything about it. I was discouraged from reading it as a child. We've been over that. Like, my parents weren't freaking out about it, but they were kind of like, yeah, we're not gonna get those books.
It's smart because like I turned out to be Wiccan. So you avoided that. Shouts to all our Wiccan listeners.
Yeah. And then
what about as far as the tempted to cheat, like at this point?
Tempted to cheat, tempted to look at the last pages. I am always tempted to read the next chapter title.
Which is
and
good.
I'll be honest, a lot of times I do.
And then I'll be honest, a lot of times it gives me a lot of really important information. And so I'm just lying to you. The podcast is a lie.
That has happened. I don't think I've learned anything from the chapter title once.
Good.
But more than that, what I'm most tempted to do is to go on Pottermore and read about characters. Because I find the whole like fandom community really interesting. Like I just typed in Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball into Google, and there's a whole fandom thing for that.
Yeah.
And that's probably what I'm going to spend the rest of my evening doing after we finish potting. But that is really tempting. Like when we meet a new character, for me to like, and like I've learned that you got to be really careful because that stuff that can be filled with spoilers.
Have you spoiled yourself in a way that you have not told me about prior to now? I feel like you've been pretty forthright.
I have been pretty forthright, and I'll tell you one that I accidentally stumbled upon.
Oh, okay.
So here it is. Everybody gets to be in on this. I looked up Fleur Delacour.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I want to know what the deal is here.
Okay.
And I'm scrolling down I didn't even go to the Pottermore site.
No. You just saw like the snapshot of what's going to be on Pottermore in Google.
Yeah. And it was a redheaded person with like his arms around her.
Yeah.
And then it said it was like a thumbnail for a YouTube video, and it said Fleur Delacour Weasley. And I was like, oh no, what have I done?
Rogge's been warning me about this.
I I couldn't do it. Yeah, so I don't know how much that like crushes any plot moving forward, but I know that.
Well,
I
I
know
need
that's
you to
gonna-
make some, like, to atone for it, you now need to make some wild predictions about how
Well, I
she gets
think that
that
it's-
last name.
Well, she marries one of them.
Okay.
It said that.
Okay, give me those circumstances. As of right now, like, Ron asked her to the ball, and she was like,
Right, but I don't think
"Are
it's
you a
Ron in
human?"
the picture. I think it's one of the older ones that
Okay.
we don't know that much about.
Okay, how does that come about?
She Ron actually courts her to start like dating, and he wants her to come visit him during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And when she gets there, she falls in love with one of his older brothers instead.
Mr. Steelio Girl? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
classic. Happened to Jacob and me all the time.
Ouch.
Yeah. Okay. So she's like, okay, Ron, I see you. Like, we were once swimming in the same lake briefly.
Yeah.
You're friends
Yep.
with Harry. Like, he's writing her letters all year and signing them Harry Potter. Because she's like, I know and respect that person. We were in the Triwizard Tournament together. And he catfishes her. Ron catfishes her.
Yeah. That's how it happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be better.
So
Ron.
I'm sorry. I won't type in characters anymore. I don't feel like that's that important, but
Well, I mean, to some extent, you know that she, like, you know, the argument is, well, you know that she lives to get married. Like, you know she doesn't die in the next 10 minutes.
yeah. So I guess that could harm moving forward. But
It's not like you saw her marrying Harry, you know, like her marrying Harry, or like,
yeah. Yeah.
Fleur, who turns out was a time traveler and is Harry's daughter that he had with Mrs. Weasley, and that's why her last name's Weasley, because she just took her mom's name.
Yikes.
Like Zoink Scoob.
Like Zoink Scoob. I've never realized how closely Shaggy and Jerry Seinfeld are related.
I
until
got a bad feeling about this.
Hey, that's my voice. Yeah, so I learned my lesson. I peaked before Christmas, and everybody knows how that turns out. Ruins Christmas for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when you don't save yourself, then you ruin it for yourself and your partner. Like, that's supposed to be a special moment.
that's real.
You guys can't see Braden's face, but like, that was sincere agreement. That's real.
Yeah. So it's hard because I want to know what the characters look like in the movies.
Well,
I don't know why that's a
you're
thing
gonna
for
get
me,
a
but
lot
it
of
is.
that here
Yeah.
very soon.
It's not even so much that I'm tempted to go and find out stuff about them. I just want to know what actor or actress was casted for that role.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't do that without learning something about the character that you shouldn't know.
I feel like we should, when you're here, we should do a little thing where you know how you can watch like Christian Netflix that has like all the cuss words bleeped out? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Isn't it I think it's called PureFlix?
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that? Yeah.
We will do that when you come, and like I'll just show you. I'll like print off a picture of like, I don't know, something or someone, and we'll let you ask the questions and answer things in like a safe space. We'll do the birds and the bees Harry Potter talk,
Okay.
and we'll film
Yeah,
it.
that'd be good. That'd be good.
But you're gonna see the movies, and then I can't show you characters in the next books because you haven't met them yet. How's that gonna work? I could like hand you pages printed out from Pottermore with like a bunch of it blacked out, like a government document.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah. And it's like you reading it out loud, and so we're seeing you gain that information about them.
Yeah. I'd be in for that.
Okay, chapter 37. Let's finish up Goblet of Fire here. Let's get everyone home to their kids on time. Not as much happens in this chapter. It's a little backloaded. The chapter starts out kind of slow, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of and then Harry was pretty sad about everything that happened in the graveyard for a while. And it was weird for him going back to society. So do you have any thoughts about that, Harry? We already talked about PTSD a little bit, the aftermath.
Yeah, as if he didn't already have enough to deal with as a 14-year-old. He has to then go to the parents of Cedric Diggory and explain to them what happened. Which I feel like that event in itself would be traumatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then like talking about money with them.
Ugh, yeah. Be terrible.
Mm-hmm. Turns out there's a Mrs. Diggory.
There is a Mrs. Diggory.
Unbeknownst to us.
It turns out Amos is just sobbing because Harry won.
Wow, it's just a competition thing.
Kidding.
Yeah, so Harry's definitely persona non grata kind of in the castle. Like, no one's just buddying up to him. It's just a lot of holding him at arm's length. Like, I don't know what to make of you, and that's hard.
Yeah. There's got to be a part of him that just wants a normal life so bad.
Oh yeah, a big part of him.
Yeah. So I feel bad for him.
We meet with Hagrid. Do we care about meeting with Hagrid?
Yeah, we care about meeting with Hagrid. He talks about the fact that he's got a job to do over the summer.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
I'm guessing that Dumbledore sent him to obtain a certain kind of creature that is really hard to obtain and super dangerous that's going to aid them in defense against Lord Voldemort. Or
a super
so that's
niffler.
option A. Yeah, that's option A. Option B is like, I need you to go to your people, the Giants, and
San Francisco or New York?
Good question. We'll say San Fran. Eli's on his way out.
Yeah.
But you need Saquon Barkley's thighs, so maybe we could go. We could make it two trips.
It's a cross country trip, yeah.
Yeah. And go to your people and fraternize. Remember the good times, and kind of band everybody together. Let them know that we need them. We need their help.
He wants him to go liaise.
Yeah. Do some liaising.
After we meet with Hagrid, we get some. I mean, you'd been doing this a similar thing. Harry does a lot of just wondering about Snape. There's like a giant paragraph of being like, "What's Snape doing? What did he do? Why does Dumbledore think that Snape is good?"
Yeah, I'm almost more concerned about Snape than I am Voldemort at this point.
Well, yeah, Snape's got a lot more direct access to Harry.
Yeah, and like we know
And
what
Dumbledore.
Voldemort is.
Yeah.
You know, like, no, we haven't seen the full extent of his power, I guess, but okay, he's alive. He wants to kill Harry. He's going to at all costs. We're going to see him again. Snape, it's like, we don't even know what team he's on. We don't know what to believe when he says things.
He's a much more interesting character.
He is
because his motivations are
incredibly
so
complex.
much more opaque.
Yeah. Yep.
So Harry's musings don't give you a more concrete theory as to what Snape's up to?
Well, let's read his musings.
Sure, we're at 95%. We're
I hate when you
almost
do that.
done with me making that joke. That's probably the last time. Because I have the
Because you lost your
books.
copy of this, right?
Yeah, I think, honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I blame Olivia. Come on the pod. What was it that Snape had done on Dumbledore's orders the night that Voldemort had returned? And why Why was Dumbledore so convinced that Snape was truly on their side? Had he been their spy? Dumbledore had said so in the Pensieve. He had been their spy. Dumbledore said so in the Pensieve. That wasn't a question. Snape had turned spy against Voldemort at great personal risk. Was that the job he had taken up again? Had he made contact with the Death Eaters, perhaps? Pretended that he had never really gone over to Dumbledore? That he had been, like Voldemort, biding his time?
All fair questions.
I mean, it seems
The
like
answer-
that's the plan. It's just, do you believe Snape, or do you think that he's getting a go back to Voldemort for free and continue to be evil card?
I truly don't know. I don't know why he would have stuck around through everything that happened with the Triwizard tournament if he was going back to Voldemort. He had direct access to Harry so many times.
Oh yeah, could have killed him real dead.
Yeah. So, unless the plan is to keep someone close to Dumbledore, right? Because that's what stands in the way. So,
Yeah, Harry says he's finally realizing why Dumbledore was called the only wizard Voldemort ever feared. So you would want someone close to that.
yeah.
We get Dumbledore giving a little speech. Talks about international unity, toasts to Harry and Cedric. Talks about how everyone needs to be united against Voldemort. Did you have any thoughts on this speech?
I mean, just his approach to all this, that, like, I'm not going to lie to all of you. I'm just going to tell you, like, Voldemort's alive and he murdered Cedric. That was bold. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's blunt, but like it also smacks of like taking the high road. He doesn't like try to whip him up into a frenzy. He's like, we need to come together, be unified, with truth and love and those kinds of things.
Yeah. So what bothers me, though, and maybe this isn't that important of a detail, but like Harry said the name of Lucius Malfoy and he said Crabbe and Goyle, and no one has really said anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, Fudge was like, you're just listing names of people that were accused. And Malfoy gives a lot of money to me. So, yeah, but that's all we've heard.
Okay, so that's fair, but what purpose does Crabbe and Goyle serve? Like, why are they not even being questioned? Surely they haven't been questioned beforehand, right? They're accused beforehand. I mean, they're 14.
Mr. Crabbe and Goyle or young Crabbe and Goyle?
Was it Mr. Crabbe and Goyle that were Death Eaters with Voldemort?
Yes. It was not Draco's buddies, Vincent Crabbe and Gregory Goyle.
Well, it doesn't specify, does it?
No, it doesn't. But they're 14. They're not Death Eaters. Well, I mean, like, they're not in the...
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
I should have let you do that. My bad. My bad, everyone.
Yeah. Man. I really thought
I didn't know that's what
like
you
somehow,
thought.
That's why I thought it was weird that Draco wasn't there.
Got it. I didn't... Like, I should have rolled with it, but that would have been tough to pull off. Like, realize in the moment what you meant to be like, yeah, that is weird. Man, because they're, like, not even good wizards. Like, why are they already Death Eaters? What do we think about that?
That's so where
funny.
I was at.
It's a, like, father-son dynamic. Like, as Crabbe and Goyle roll with Malfoy, so do, John Crabbe and James Goyle roll with Lucius.
Gotcha. Are they big and dumb too?
I mean, all we know is that they're like tripping over their robes when they're trying to bow to Voldemort. That's all we've heard about them. So,
safe to say then.
Take from that what you will.
I will.
Okay. We've got two more big things here. Do you know what they are?
We get Fleur coming to tell Harry goodbye. And Victor Crumb. Ron gets Victor's autograph, which I kind of want to punch Ron in the face a little bit.
Because he's still a jerk to Hermione about Crumb.
Yeah.
That's continuing to happen. But then also he wants Crumb's autograph.
Yeah. Pick a side, bro. And then the biggest thing is that Hermione figured out Rita Skeeter's thing. She figured out that she is an unlicensed animagus.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter how many times I say that across episodes, I always get hesitant before I say it.
Same, dude. I get it.
So that she's doing that illegal. That's illegally. That's how she's listening in on conversations. She turns into a beetle and just buzzes around. Hermione figures that out, catches her in a jar. So Rita Skeeter is in bug form in Hermione's possession, which I love. It's justice.
So you're not. I thought maybe. Okay, when you reacted to Peter Pettigrew being a rat, you were like flipping tables. Like, so people are just animals, and animals are people too.
Yeah,
I can't trust anything.
Right.
And then so much else happened that you forgot about that. To now, you're like, well, yeah, it turns out Rita Skeeter's a beetle. Because when you first said that, I was like, he's going to lose it. When it turns out that Rita Skeeter has just been beetling this whole time.
No, because at this point, I now, like, if we meet a new character, I'm just like, well, could be an animal.
Or could be Barty Crouch Jr., I guess.
Could be. You know, we meet Mad Eye Moody, and turns out, yeah, he's not Mad Eye Moody. So, like, no one is who they say they are.
Lupin's a werewolf.
Rule number one.
Quirrell is
of reading Harry
Voldemort.
Potter. Yeah.
Lockhart is barely a wizard. Lockhart lies about his abilities.
Hagrid's a giant.
Yeah, it turns out. Can we list who we trust at this point, that they are who they say they are? And who they are who we thought they were?
And we let him off the hook?
Yeah. Yeah. Who are we letting off the hook?
We trust Dumbledore. We
Sure.
trust that Harry is who he says he is. We trust Ron and Hermione.
Long con. Harry's a snake this whole time. It's his.
He can speak to snakes because he is one.
It's the opposite.
I think that's probably as far as it goes.
A snake figured out how to turn into a person, and that's what Harry Potter is. Wait, you said we trust Ron and Hermione?
Yeah, Dumbledore and the Quad Squad.
Yeah. Neville?
Outside of that, no. I don't trust Neville.
Neville's parents were tortured. You know that now.
Yeah. So he probably had a really rough upbringing. Had to figure some things out. He's seen some things and some stuff.
That, like, his desire for revenge has driven him to invent a plant that...
I don't know. I'm telling you that I don't...
What about Arthur and Molly Weasley? Like, you want to trust them, but you can't quite.
I don't trust them in, like, a bad way.
It's like maybe they've still got another trick up their sleeves.
I think that they're
us.
probably more powerful than they let on.
Okay. What about Fred and George?
Oh, don't trust them any farther than I can throw them.
That leads us kind of into our last point here. You get some Ludo Bagman closure. Because that was like...
And I needed that.
You were finally wrong. You were pretty wrong about Bagman. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for having a strong opinion that's wrong. Because that's all I want. That's what the podcast is based on.
Okay.
And so I was glad... okay. I was glad that happened. And so I'm glad that you get closure on it. Walk me through that.
Yeah. So it turns out Bagman is just sort of a loser. I was right.
You were
that
right.
He was in trouble monetarily with the goblins.
Yeah.
I was right about that.
And was betting on Harry.
So not completely wrong. Yeah. I was wrong, however. He's not affiliated with, like, he's not a Death Eater. He's just a loser.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, And that also brings closure because didn't you tell me that he's not really a part of the movie? They just kind
Correct.
of ditched him.
I shouldn't have, but I did tell you that.
So that makes more sense now because it's like, yeah, we could do this story without him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It removes a potential, like he was a character I was suspicious of.
He was a red herring.
He was a red herring. So it removes one of those, but it's like, okay, yeah, I get why they didn't put a whole lot of. We don't need to pay an actor to be him. We could put that money elsewhere.
Yeah. I feel like Daniel Craig could have been a good Ludo Bagman.
Interesting. I don't know. Daniel Craig is so like serious. I would think you need someone who's like kind of like a little bit weird, a little out there.
But
like I could see
has to be like has to have like an athletic build. Like a Hemsworth?
See, I was thinking more of Johnny Depp.
But Johnny Depp was like, you don't look at him and be like, former professional athlete, Johnny Depp. And
But
that's
it's
Ludo's
Quidditch.
whole
How
shtick.
physically fit do you need to be for Quidditch?
I don't know. See, okay, excellent question that I would love to discuss at some point. But
yeah.
he's the whole time, the whole book, all it is Bagman, who's clearly not in his peak Quidditch playing form. His robes are tighter on him now. And then, or like when we look back in time, it's like Bagman at the top of his game, just really buffed out. Like she goes out of her way to describe him physically as being like athletic.
Okay, so let me.
And for some reason, I'm picturing him as blonde.
Actor. Okay, so my next, if it can't be Johnny Depp, I was gonna go Gerard Butler.
Okay, Gerard Butler. I've only ever seen Gerard Butler in 300. So to describe him as being able to be super goofy, I'm just picturing King Leonidas.
Yeah,
but he's in like rom-coms.
So you need it to be a blonde?
I mean, I feel like he's described as having straw-colored hair. Is that true? Call in.
Okay.
Chad, get on the case. Fun fact. Is Ludo Bagman blonde? I'm not going to look it up myself.
Yeah.
So he was gambling and then he paid them off in leprechaun gold. Which is like fool me once, twins. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to let that one go.
And then he tries to get it back from the goblins by betting on Harry. And then Harry wins, but technically he tied. The goblins are like, well, guess we got to kill you now.
Yeah, so he fled the country, right?
Yeah, he's out. He bailed.
He's on the run. Yeah.
He's somewhere. But it's not here.
So I guess that's just kind of the end of him. Whatever.
And that sucks for the twins.
Well, yeah, except for Harry gives his Triwizard money to them, so now they're good. Noble Harry.
I've looked up before a currency exchange because someone's done the research and been like, okay, this is how much a wand costs, and there's some other point of reference that we're able to use. But they've been able to pretty well get it figured out. And a galleon is a lot. Like a galleon's like over $100.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
So it said in that bag he's got like 1,000 galleons.
Yeah. So he's really like angel investor, like dropping some cash in this twin joke shop situation.
Wow. Let's hope. Here's to hoping they use it wisely.
Do you trust
I
they
don't have
will?
a ton of hope. No. I think they'll blow it.
On what?
Don't they want to open a joke shop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess I'm trying to think of like what you would need to invest in a joke shop.
You need retail space. You need R&D. You're inventing some jokes. You need maybe employees.
So maybe they will use it wisely because it's not like you got to buy a bunch of product.
You just magic it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anything else you want to get to? You covered the goodbyes a little bit. Oh, I have some do we cares. Do we care?
Do we even care?
Ooh, do we care about the fact that Harry has to go back to the Dursleys? Because Mrs. Weasley tried to just be like, let's just bring Harry to the Burrow. Let's not put him through this. Do we care about that?
Yeah, I just from like the standpoint of it's just a bummer. And what I care more about is that Dumbledore was like adamant that he does go home for at least a part of the summer.
Yeah.
Like what? Why? Why would that be helpful?
Why?
I don't know. I don't.
It just seems dumb and bad.
Yeah, it does. It seems both of those things. Maybe Dumbledore is somehow related to the Dursleys.
Ooh.
What was
Durbledore?
Durbledore. Maybe he is like cousins with Vernon.
And so he just knows that to be a safe place.
Or he hates Vernon and he's like,
you're going to hate having this kid, so I'm going to make
you
keep
get
going.
to be stuck with Harry and he has power over you. So good luck, Vernon. I hate you.
There's like some kind of blood oath.
Yeah.
That goes way back between them.
I don't know. I don't have a good guess for that. I want to keep that in. Does that ever get resolved? Can you tell me that?
I'm not going to tell you that. I am going to remind you that you have a long-standing prediction that Vernon Dursley has a history with magic prior to Harry Potter.
I do. I'm sticking with that.
It's something with that. There's another shoe to drop with the Dursleys and magic.
Yes, I think there's some sort of bad history there that Vernon's like, nope, I'm done with magic and I hate it and they're all freaks because they did me wrong or something like that. Because cousin Dumbledore is better than me.
Do we care about the fight with Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle on the train?
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
I cared about it because it that, like the Bagman thing, was kind of like closure I needed. Like I was waiting on them to finally like not hold back and be afraid that we're going to get in trouble. And I love that they all did it at the same time. They all decided, screw it, let's hit them. And they just paralyzed them.
And they were being jerks.
Yeah, no, it was well deserved. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. I like to think that they don't recover.
We can be hopeful, but in the end, I don't think that's what happens.
Where do we stand right now on like once they're down there? Like should they have just killed them? Like is that where we are in the war against Voldemort?
No, you don't want murder on your hands.
Okay. That's fine. You're thinking about it though.
Not so much murder, but more of a debilitating curse, along a curse with a more residual effect.
Yeah, because there's definitely curses that you can't just cure.
Yeah. I would have to think in that moment long and hard about like, do I teach Malfoy like a permanent lesson right now?
Mm-hmm. You've got him at your mercy.
Yeah. So.
Do we care? Okay, I need to pull up the page for this because I want to read it. They're getting... It's like there's got to be the second or third to last page. They're about to get on the train. Oh, yeah, it's maybe the last page. See you, Harry, said Ron, clapping him on the back. Bye, Harry, said Hermione, and she did something she had never done before and kissed him on the cheek. Our boy Harry got a cheek kiss. Do we care?
This messed with my head.
So you remembered this. This isn't me just reminding you about it. You're like,
No.
I wanted to talk about this.
I'm glad that you said something about it. I had not put them. Now, it doesn't really get into detail about the way it's phrased. The way that's phrased that it's like she'd never done this before, but she leaned in and kissed him on the cheek. Like, we as the reader don't have to take that romantically, but I am.
Like,
I'm absolutely.
Why would you put it
way.
in there if we weren't supposed to?
Exactly. Exactly. And up until now, I was kind of like, okay, if anything, it'll be like Hermione and Ron.
Like an opposites attract.
Yes. Like they'll end up wearing each other down, and in the end, they'll get married. And so this was weird for me because I had been kind of operating under that assumption. And it's like I had just not even really put the idea of Hermione being attracted to Harry. Like that wasn't in the realm of possibility for me.
But now, like, it looks good on them. It makes
sense on
bit.
paper.
Yeah.
That's a friggin' power couple.
Yeah.
They're going to take over the world.
Harmony.
Yeah.
So where does this... We've not been hearing from Ginny. And you used to be Ginny.
If I'm Harry and I couldn't have Ginny, I mean, Hermione's a close second, for sure. Not even a close second. Hermione's an MVP.
Yeah, Ginny is not one of the MVPs.
I don't mean to put like Hermione on a lower... Like, I love Hermione, and I would want Hermione for Harry. Like I said, I had never even... I just, in my head, starting this series, reading these books with you, it was like, okay, those two, like, they're just friends and they're going to work through issues together. And it would be too easy for JKR to make them love interests. She's not going to do that.
So she strung you along for 4 books and yes. did all that, did the whole platonic thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like
a double reverse of expectations. Back to the original expectation.
It was a bit of a jaw drop moment for me.
Yeah, it's a big takeaway. That leads us we're right at the end of the book. Book is over. We will have, I'm sure, overall thoughts like after the movie. That'll sort of continue to sum up like what you thought of this whole story arc and such and so forth.
I think so
and
too.
Things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because it is hard. Like, we record weekly, which is a lot better than what it used to be, like bi-weekly. But it's still hard when you chunk it up between weeks. You know, you sleep, you work, you go do other things, and then you come back to Harry Potter, and it's like, okay, I remember the big things, but like there's probably some small things throughout this book that I forgot. And so like coming back to the movie and watching it all the way through and kind of piecing stuff back together, like we talked about last episode, like knowing what I know now, like paying so much more attention to what Mad Eye was saying, and was it weird? Like, should I have thought it was weird at that time? And I think that will be really good as far as like solidifying in my mind what I think, what I'm predicting, what I think I know that I don't actually know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And the movie, I'll be interested to see how you react to how the movie handles the Mad Eye Moody thing.
Ooh, that leads me to think that you think I'm going to be disappointed.
No, it's just, you know, like Carla and I have both said, movies and books are just very different mediums. And this is a big old thick book to fit into one movie. And so so not everything's the exact same. And so, like you're saying, you kind of want to reread the book and go into these moody lines and be like, how should I have seen that? And like, how's the context different now that I know what I know? And so instead of reading the book, you're going to see a movie of that. And the lines aren't all the exact same, you know, like things are different. True. And so it's, and the director directed it having to get you from this is Moody to this is Barty Crouch at the end with the same predicament. And so like looking at how he went about it now that you do know what you know. And Hannah might not even know. Who knows? Who's to say what Hannah knows?
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. Hannah is like,
Not looking forward to seeing the movies.
well, she's just like, I don't know what's going on.
She's seen the first two.
I know, but I mean, it's been a while, and she's not reading the books, so like,
Yeah, that's all fair.
we'll catch her up.
And so, yeah, that's another thing that the movies have to do the books don't, is they have to try to be a little more standalone. They have to try to work as a movie. There's people that have only seen the fourth movie, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it holds your hand a little bit more than jumping into the fourth book does.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be cool.
Yep, I'm excited for that. We'll have to spend just a couple minutes making plans for this weekend once we hang up here, but it's going to be good. If you guys would like to hang out with us this weekend and happen to be Carter, text me back. That's all I'm saying.
Is anyone even going to hear this in time for this weekend?
Absolutely
Probably
not. There's no chance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if any of you have a time machine
Mhm.
and you listen to this
And
would
our
like
Carter.
to come back, and our Carter would like to hang out with us, you should do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then I'm also going to ask you to help me out with some other things,
Please
knowing
do.
that you have a time machine.
Like, you should be getting on Facebook and Instagram. Liking us, following us, commenting, cavorting, canoodling.
I don't want to throw that one in there.
Not canoodling. We're not
You
like no
should-
canoodling.
I'm pretty hard no on the canoodling.
Okay, we'll talk about it. No spoilers.
Yeah, we'll discuss. As we mentioned at the start of the episode, you should call in and howl. That number is 978-768-8370, 978-768-8370.
8,370. Call in, do that. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to hear from yourself on a podcast. That's always fun. Like us on Instagram. Support us on Patreon. Haven't plugged that in a while. We've got a lot of awesome patrons that are making it possible to continue having a show. And so it's been really great. I don't know if we haven't talked about it at all. Are we going to take any kind of break before we do Order of the Phoenix? I don't know. It doesn't really affect you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll figure it out.
We'll talk about that. It won't really affect you guys as far as your listening schedule because there's like 3 more episodes to come out before you hear this anyway. So we've got some time to make those decisions. But we thank you for sticking with us. It's always kind of a good time to do that at the end of a book. We appreciate all of your support from the beginning. We've got 3 more books to go. We're about halfway through the series.
3?
Yeah, 5, 6, and 7.
I thought there were 8.
There's 8 movies, 7 books.
Oh. That wrecks my entire universe.
Well, there you go. Then there's some like little books, some like little, 20 to 30 page sort of like mini encyclopedia, just kind of companion type books that don't advance the main story or anything like that. And so we can make game time decisions on those if we want to do them. Depends how you're feeling. You're going to have like 3 kids by the time we get to those, so.
We shall see.
Thanks for listening, guys. Until next time.
Bye.